How's it going, everyone? Almost missed going live in time, but I did just sneak it in there before 3:31, I think. Yeah, still not 3:30. Um, Sorry, I was just getting my music set up. So we got Magic Mon saying example product title 1999. Yeah, if you go to my website while I'm not doing like a pack stream, there's no items for purchase. There's not much you can do. You can click on the tab for, I guess we can just pull it up on the screen, right? We might as well. I don't know how my other screen is set up, so I'll have to see what I end up showing you guys. If you see my desk or what. Yeah, you do see my desk. You see that Nagaba Jolteon staring at you. But yeah, when you're on my website, you see example product title 1999. You can, however, click on consignment terms, and I do need to update this before next week's live stream. But consignment terms are all there. You can also see, where are we? I have so many overlays I don't use anymore. Not overlays, but so many of these OBS things. But yeah, consignment terms are still there. I do need to add in all the new eBay Vault consignment features and functions and everything. See, we lost the sub count. That needs to be up there. And then you can also see the products I use. The recommended products are all there with their appropriate affiliate links. So the website still has some functionality when it's not for live streams, but I do need to work on that and make it a little bit better. Fingers Den, nice seeing you. Second, Mike Canton, DMC Designs. How's it going, Ponga? Question: can people in your Charlotte section finally get a Ketchum All Collectibles shirt? That's actually one item that, like, I know Josh, shout out to Green Shiz, he uses Stream Elements or something it's called. I've had it on a list. It's somewhere on my desk. Somewhere on my desk is a list of to-dos that includes like merch in case people want that. One, I don't think there's a lot of demand for that, so it's not high on my list. It's anything comes ahead of it because it's going to be an hour or a couple hours worth of work to maybe sell 5 shirts if I had to guess. But I do intend to do it at some point, just when I'm less busy. I say that I'm busy and then I stream for an hour, not getting much done. But let's grab some cash. How's it going, Yeldern? Ponga, Giant Turtle, Leaf Green Goblin. Can you bring in a guest? The appendix ratio is off for me. Pokey Flips tomorrow night. We will be live. Normally we do 1 p.m. Eastern, but we have Gem Mint collectors. So we'll have 2 Nicks tomorrow. The number of Nicks might be too high for Mr. Walrus, but we'll have to see. I don't know if either of them still have their appendix, but we might have 2 whole appendixes tomorrow live. We'll have to see. Luke C. L-Dubs. Who else is retiring on Japanese holos this week? Yeah, it's absolutely crazy out here. It's like 2020. Maybe better, maybe worse, depending on which angle, which side you're looking at it from. But it's crazy out here right now. Brandon Haller says, what up, gang? Kyle Benke says, would you suggest buying the Yu Nagaba Eevee set now at 150 or wait a few weeks hoping for 100? I would not suggest either. I would not suggest one way or the other. I've bought many sets, and I've over 1,000 packs I've bought. I think I've bought 10 or 20 sets. I'm gonna try and grade them and make money on them. Depends on what your goals are. Depends on if you have the capital. If there's something you have to have and you like can't live without them and you're trying to save 10, 20, 30, 40 bucks, 50 bucks in this scenario, but you, yeah, I don't know. At the end of the day, it all depends on your goals and how. Say you wake up overnight and they're 100, well then you buy them. That's great. Say you buy them at 150 and you wake up overnight and they're 100, how bad would you feel? How much would that ruin your day, week, month, year? If that would ruin your year more than them going to 200 overnight and then having to spend more, maybe buy them. If not, then maybe wait. But there's no right answer without hindsight. We just don't know. I could guess, but that's all it would be, as a guess. I personally don't. I feel like I'm more confident in what the graded ones will do. I think the graded ones by the end of the summer will paper hands. Will have margin paper hands away. But in the meantime, will the sealed packs go from 15 to 30, or will they go from 15 to 5, and then the PSA 10s will be selling for $25 or something? I don't really know for sure, but I just feel like either I feel like buying a pack, grading it at 15, paying eBay fees, paying shipping, paying all those things, especially if you do it with an auction. I just feel like by the end of summer, there will be very little, if any, margin at all, given how many people are grading. Maybe it won't be like that. Maybe they'll head upwards better than I think, but it's hard to say. Right now, some crazy stuff's going on in Japanese. So I guess if a few people decide they want 10,000 of each of them in PSA 10, they could do crazy things. So I have no idea anymore. Gonskaya, Grimer, Kadabra Big Spoon, struggling in between selling all waifus and tag teams right now, or sitting on them and being greedy. Take profit, Ian, but I can't. You can always do part of both, right? Like if you've got 50 cards, if you've got 10 cards, 50 cards, however many that you think might just double next week or tank 50% next week, you can always like sell half. People love those fence sitting positions. People love that in between, that nuance, like between black and white. But yeah, that always is an option to just like go part way. You don't have to go all the way with it. You don't have to. It isn't all or nothing unless you have one. If you have one, then it's like okay, then it's all or nothing. Maybe you can fractionalize it. I guess sell fractional shares for half of it, and then you can make it not all or nothing. Sell and buy for next boom. Sell all and invest into an S&P 500 ETF. Magic Mod must be my alt account or something. I'll take a shirt to burn, please. The Quaxley masks are up. They're not with me. They're up in the kids' bedrooms, I think. They're fans of those. They're fans of those. So yeah, they're. I should have bought like 4 or more. I only bought 2. So two Quaxley masks, 2 kids means 0 for me. Hit the like on your way into chat. Appreciate that, retro. Magicmon says, Dan, are you going to open a Lord of the Rings collector box just for the gamble of 1 of 1? Absolutely. I mean, almost certainly. I know Rudy's selling them this Friday night. He's already pumped me and dumped me with that 6.9 year anniversary card. It's actually somewhere nearby because I haven't put it back away yet since I did that video for Monday. I think. Oh yeah, it's somewhere over here. I don't know where. It's in one of these stacks over here. But anyways, it's a cool product. It's stonky. If I could open $1 million card live on YouTube, that would be amazing. So sometime after those come out, sometime this summer, maybe I'll open another one of these. I don't know. But I'll probably not. I have 2 of these sealed and I have 1 open. I'll probably buy at least 3 or 4 of the Lord of the Rings one, and then I'll rip 1 or 2, just YOLOing it for that $1 million, $1 million, $2 million, whatever it may be, payday. I don't know. 1 out of 700 ring sold for $13K. 1 of 1 ring is 7 figures easy. It's easy to just say words. I don't know how valid that is. I don't know how valid the sale is. I don't know how valid these bounties are. If and when I pull one, I'll be hitting them up and trying to claim the bounty because I just feels crazy. But everything that's going on, so much of what's going on feels crazy too. So it's hard to know. You can just call me FJ. I struggle so much trying to start that word. Trying to start the FJ sound is very, very tough in English. I know I've said it right multiple times. FJ. How's it going, Richie B? I did say it right as an American. Yeldern. Pronounce it like a Y, right? I know I've gone over this before, and I apologize. Hey, you were just on the Pokenomics Discord a second ago. Thanks for answering my questions. Yeah, we were talking about distribution costs. So for anyone who doesn't know, I pay like mid 90s. I pay mid 90s per booster box, buying over 100 booster boxes. I think pretty common thing. Even when I first got back into the hobby in 2014, when MSRP was 144, and my first distribution access, I was paying mid 80s for a box. I always had the idea that guys like Rudy, big stores, were paying like 60 a box or something. And if I'd come into the hobby today, I'd probably, oh yeah, they're probably paying like 70 bucks a box, maybe 60 bucks a box. The big stores. The margins are way smaller than that. Like when you see a pre-sale for 105 bucks shipped to your door, that's crazy. Like I can't match that. I paid 96.50. 96 mid 90s I had said, but my most recent purchase of Paldea Evolve was for 96.50. And there are people paying less. There are people paying 90, 92. I probably should do better to negotiate my prices down. But yeah, low 100s, low triple digits is pretty crazy. Getting to double digits is insanity because there's really just not much margin there at all. Do you use a magnification glass with a light on it to pre-grade? I use nearly the same lighting I have right now. I have one light right here that lights up my face in the background more. You can kind of see the shadows I cast when I raise my hand. But I kind of tilt that downward. And I just use my naked eye. Like, they claim all this stuff that PSA graders are doing, and I'm sure they do more when they're actually authenticating a card, when they're actually having, like, a card that is of questionable authenticity, when they're having a card that's 4, 5, 6, 7 figures value. But when you're sending, like, a Nagaba Umbreon, I don't think much of a loop is going on. I don't think much is going on other than, like, front, back 10, front, back 9. Like, you're looking at your card harder than they are in 99.99% of instances. So I don't overthink it too much. PSA grade's pretty easy. And I look at them not very hard, and I look at them harder than the graders do. Would rather buy Hasbro stock, though, not financial advice. Some point I'd like to get to where I have the capital to feel like I can actually make individual stock picks, but for right now it's all mutual and index funds, and still until I can buy like shares of a stock by the, I think a block is 100 shares. Until I'm making very large purchases, I don't feel like it's necessary. I don't feel like I have enough information. I do my active trading in cardboard, and I do my passive stuff in financial markets. Not financial advice there either. That's just what I do. I trade it for a PSA 10 Alpha Black Lotus or more. I don't know. Darren says, here pre-grading a bunch of cards. How comfortable are you and anybody in chat with a card that is very clean on the front, centering is spot on, but on the back there's the slightest white speck? Many 10s have a singular white speck. I think some people, and some of this goes back to when I did the TCG player bulk order, and some of it's just what I hear in general. I think some people think PSA only gives 10 to like black label quality cards. You are your own card's worst critic. In many, it's weird because it can fall either way. There are some people that think every card is a 9 or a 10. They submit 100 cards and they get all 7s and 6s and 5s because they have no idea what they're doing. But generally, if you have an idea what you're doing and you're dealing with a pack fresh card that grades with a 10 rate at PSA of greater than 80%, you're not going to have an 80% chance of getting a PSA 10 because most people are doing some small amount of pre-grading. But if it's an ultra modern card that you just pulled, pack fresh does not mean gem mint, but if the gem mint rate of what has been graded is 80% or more, there's at least greater than a 50% chance you have a PSA 10. Like, grading is not that hard, but I think both directions. Some people just think like it's not going to get a 10 unless it's absolutely perfect. And then some people think everything is a 10. So I can't say universally people are one way or the other, but I do see both extremes very often. I don't know what more to say on it. Yeah, just look at scans. I mean, I sold 50 PSA 10 Celebrations Charizards, and a lot of them had white dots here and there, and a lot of them had 60-40 centering. Some of them probably had 65-35 centering that got through. It's humans on the other end. Darren M have a bunch of 10s like that. Depends on the grader. Ultimately look at 9s for worst case if there's margin there. Ray T, going to Japan next week. Gonna dump my cards I ordered from Japan years ago back in Japan. Yeah, I think a lot of people are talking about Worlds as like a sourcing opportunity. I think the opportunity is to bring stuff and sell. So many cards are supposedly on the ground floor in Japan going for more money than they are here. So people are buying like $20,000 Scream sets from the US so that they can flip it into Japan for an extra few grand. And it's absolute insanity out there. What it will be like come time for Worlds, couple months, I have no idea. Will the music stop before then? I have no idea. But if you're intending on Worlds or a Japan trip to be like a major sourcing opportunity for just endless booster boxes at MSRP and this and that, you're going to have a bad time from what I've heard. I've not been to Japan. I don't know that I'll ever travel to Japan in my life, but I've talked to quite a few people and heard from quite a few people who have, and it's pretty dry out there right now as far as like products at MSRP. Not feeling this like to viewer ratio. Come on, people. Appreciate you, Brandon. Do you feel like the Latios tag team is close to topping out? Does population scare you in this case, or is demand high enough? I have no idea. I am so far removed from the consumer of that card at that price. What is that, a $3,000 card now? Like, I would need to be, I would need to have $10 million in the bank to feel comfortable paying $3,000 for a card like that. And I am very far from that. So I am so far from being a consumer of that. If I had one, I would have sold it at 500 and then 1,000 and then 1,500, 2,000. I'm a paper hands, I guess. I feel like it's almost certain at some point it's going to come down, but will it 2x, 3x again between now and then? And then will 3,000 be like the new low it's ever been? I have no idea. I genuinely have no idea. It's all just guesswork, but it's crazy. Like, I just don't understand who's buying these things that wasn't buying them a month ago, 6 months ago, a year ago when they were way cheaper. Thoughts on which MetaZoo promos will last? Like, as far as price-wise into the future? I mean, I think what SM Pratt has always said about Pokemon cards, older, rarer, minter, better. I think that generally applies to anything in any hobby. Right now, it seems like we've got a moderner, higher popper, having a female character of younger age on it better. That feels like more like the new what's going on right now, which is I just don't feel great about. But that's what's going on. So let's see. How excited are you about the 151 set? I'm excited. I have a little bit pre-ordered Japanese. I intend to get more Japanese. I'm going to get my full allocation come the fall. So I think it's a really cool set. I've seen a lot. I try to not look at spoilers too much, but I'm in Discord way too much. So I do see a lot. I do see quite a bit of spoilers. Those One Piece booster boxes had margins like that, though, weren't they? 65 for distro. Yeah, I want to say I paid 60 or 70 per box for a case, and then I sold my case for like $2,200. That was crazy. Is $96.50 inclusive of fees / shipping? Yeah, I think $96.50. I think that's all in. I don't think I had a credit card fee through that distributor, but at the end of the day, it's like mid-90s, plus or minus a couple percent. I think some people get so caught up on like, they need to say they need to make sure that who they're buying from makes no money whatsoever, which it's like I understand trying to get as low cost as possible, but if you spend an extra, it all comes down to how much time you have versus how much capital you have, and I don't know. Isn't 151 going to be print to order? Print to order versus print to order limit 1, at least in my opinion, is vastly different. So I have seen something about it being a guaranteed you get one box if you apply for it on Pokemon Center Japan. But one box, I mean, if it was print to order, I would order 1,000 boxes. Like literally, I would order 1,000 boxes of it at MSRP if I could. And I would get all 1,000 if it were print to order. I can order one and get guaranteed one on Pokemon Center Japan. So that is very different. Print to order limit 1 is different than print to order. Yeah, 96.50 per box. That was like at release. That was not with any bundles, any kind of crazy deal like that. What's your target buy-in price for Japanese 151 booster boxes? As low as possible. I mean, I think I have some locked in at 125 a box, which is like triple retail, more than double retail, way more than I want to spend. I want to spend as little as possible. But I'm prepared. If the price halves, I'll buy 100 more. I think I've only bought 20 or 24 or a couple cases worth, not much. If and when the prices go down, I'll just buy a lot more. And yeah, if I was buying like one box, it all comes down to like how many you're buying. I think some people that are buying like one of an item, they just get so crazy hung up on like literally a couple dollars. If you're buying one item for your collection to just put back, if you're not like actively selling, if you don't ever sell, but if you're spending time trying to save $5 on a single booster box you're gonna buy, and you're someone who actively like buys, sells, flips, just source another Nagaba Umbreon, grade it, sell it, you'll make more than $5 in the amount of time you would have spent just trying to save a couple pennies. Buy the label, not the card. Brad G Cards knows what's up. Beer in hand too. I don't know if that's, I'm assuming that's you maybe. I've got just an Arnold Palmer, non-alcoholic. Hello, Dan Bot. Looking forward to listening back to this tomorrow. If I get a 2 or a 9, PSA is wrong. How big of a risk is it to just keep cards in a sleeve plus top loader? Do they degrade over time if they're currently at a 9-10 right now? No. I mean, I would go card saver over top loader. But as long as they're environmentally, like, keep them somewhere where the temperature is pretty constant, keep them somewhere where the humidity is pretty constant, and ideally, room temperature conditions are generally pretty safe. Somewhere around 70 degrees Fahrenheit, somewhere around 50% relative humidity, without wild fluctuations either way, and your cards should be pretty good. Does this boom of full art trainers and tag teams make you consider holding a position in other subset of cards in case they see similar market trends? I mean, I owned some affected cards. I owned my final amount of Screams finally have sold. I probably have some hiding somewhere, but I almost certainly have. Like, I recently went through some Japanese type bulk stuff I had kicking around. I recently went through some tag team stuff. I went through and I stripped my binders, Sun and Moon era binders. And yeah, I have a submission out of some of that kind of stuff, but I don't know that I would just deploy X amount of capital on a million things. Like, I guess just by, like, with what I'm doing, I've accidentally done that. I've accidentally just been pretty broad and diverse, and I've benefited from the WotC bubble and the current waifu bubble. I don't know. But it's not like investing is not really something I do. I generally just buy like wholesale. I buy sub market and sell for market. I buy at market, grade, and sell for a premium. That's really most of what I do. I buy in such excess and I hoard and I buy more than I can physically process by myself. So I like have a big backlog of stuff. But other than that, like I'm not intentionally really investing in anything along those lines. I put a ton of money into the green Sprigatito. Did I pick the wrong starter to invest in? I'm bullish on Quaxley. Grimer likes Fui Coco. Mason, I see Mason. He's very anti-Quaxley. He's always trashing Quaxley whenever he gets a chance. Still no Dan promos. Still no Dan promos for cancel Dan. Brad G Card's always trying to cancel me. Still no MetaZoo Dan promos yet, but hopefully sometime this summer. No word on it that I've heard. Price goes up, so now I want. Yes, price goes up, so price goes up. Most things that are ripping are 3 to 8 years old at this point. I don't know if I'd call that modern. Yeah, I mean, I guess it's semantics, but uh I say that because some distros shipping for me was like 20% of the product price, which was crazy to me. Yeah, I mean, distributors have higher. That's the thing. Like, people see TCG player prices for like 100, $105. One, I don't know how people are selling that and making any money. The answer might be that they're not. They're just selling for a slight loss or break even. But with TCG player and eBay, you can use a credit card and not pay credit card fees. There's no minimum order to get free shipping. Shipping is just included or free or whatever. They're like there are absolutely things that are beneficial, and over the past few years having a distributor has been amazing, but there's also a lot of stuff that like you need to get creative with to find any margin for it out of the gate. 96.50 when they're selling for 105 on TCG, 105 on eBay. There's nothing there. Retro's got Magic Mon also stealing UPS thermal labels to use elsewhere. Nice to hear that UPS will subsidize your businesses. If so, I can wait till next week. Oh, am I too late to grab cash? If so, I can wait till next week. You're ready. You got the. I see you got the star next to you. You got one of those Amplitude gift subs. So feel free to drop the emote anytime. Is Steam Siege still modern? I don't know. Is Dan still embracing the pain? No pain meds. I actually had my tube out today. I had my tube and my staples out today, so no more hardware in the abdomen. Not sure if you've mentioned it before, but I was told in a Discord group from other sellers that using Shopify for a rip and ship can get it shut down. Have you had any issues using it? I've not. I heard that from somebody in here, I think. Like, maybe it was you, I don't know. But I heard it from like one person one time, and I've not had any issues. So I'm still using that for now. I hit this one already. Thoughts on which MetaZoo promos will last? I don't know exactly what it means, but I think it's just like anything else. It's like it needs to be older, rare, mint or better, generally speaking, but demand too matters. So like something that's in high demand for whatever reason. The higher demand, the higher condition, the lower print run, like those things are just things that generally help. Since we're all the way in June, Dan, do you think an ES reprint is ever coming? It might not. I don't have any inside information. How many shots did you put in your Arnold Palmer? 0 while you're all in on this 151 set. I only ordered 2 cases. Like, that's not remotely all in. If and when I were able to get it for like retail, yeah, I would buy a lot. I would buy a very large amount. I do trust in product at good pricing. It's all about entry point. It's all about price. I do love card savers. I always point towards card savers when someone talks about top loaders. No Dan promos yet. I'm not anti-Quaxley. The world is anti-Quaxley. So Mason's saying he's just the messenger. Don't shoot the messenger. I am going to do another rip and ship. I'll probably do it next week. So we have Poke Flips tomorrow night. I will do. It'll be like everything. It'll be Scarlet Violet, Paldea Evolved, Crown Zenith. It'll just be whatever I have. It'll be 9-pack lots of whatever I have. I do still have somewhere. I must have put them away. But I do have heavy packs still. It will be like Fossil First Edition heavy packs, base unlimited heavy packs. It'll be top chrome. So it'll be higher end stuff, WotC, older like Topps Chrome stuff, and Top Series 2. And then it will also be like ultra modern, the last 5-6 sets of Pokemon. DNA's anti-Quaxley. Are you investing in the MTG Lord of the Ring collector boxes? I'm not investing in them. I'll probably buy like 4. Whatever Rudy puts in a kit, I'll probably Timmy into. I think he's selling them Friday night. I'll probably buy whatever he puts into a kit. I'll probably do like 4 of them. That way I can open one, hit the $1 million ring, and then sell it and be very happy for that, and then keep the other 3 as just a memento. Or more realistically, I can open 2, pull nothing, send all the bulk to Troll and Toad for them to sell it for me. while I have that window a couple months left open. But yeah, I'm not gonna buy at 400 a box. Like, I've talked about it many times, but you need to be very careful in this industry, I think, to avoid overspending on good deals or speculative deals that could pan out. You need to make sure you have the cash flow ready for the no-brainer deals, the once-in-a-lifetime deals. Like, I've probably bought 5 or 6 once-in-a-lifetime deals since I've been back into the hobby, going on like 9 years now. There have been at least 5 times that I said, this is the biggest collection I've ever bought. It's crazy. I'll never see one like it again. And I've done that 5 times. So if I put $400, say I buy 100 boxes of Lord of the Rings collectors say I get a deal on it somehow at $300 a box. If I tie up 30 grand on that, and then someone comes to me with alt arts at 80% of TCG low, and like a lot of the alt arts are, 60-80% of them are going to be gradable, where I can 2x 3x my money hitting 10s. If I don't have the capital ready for that because I tied it up in investing in Lord of the Rings collector boxes, that was a very, very bad play. So yeah, it's very easy to go broke on, I mean, I wouldn't even call that a good deal. Buying a very speculative thing at full market price, I do not see that as a good prospect, a good use for my capital. So yeah, that's like a super risky thing in my opinion. I mean, some people have this thing in 6 months, somebody will clip this and somebody will say, Dan said $400 collector boxes were risky and now they're 800. He's so dumb. Look at that. Like, okay, that's something that happens. There are cards that go up, there are cards that go down too, but confirmation bias and like some of the commentary that I had on Moonbryons, and now I'm a holder of a Moonbryon. But some of the commentary that I'd say on Moonbryons when they were at 1,000, like, I thought that eventually they'll peak. I said sometime in the next 6 months to a year, maybe they'll peak, and then I think they'll dwindle down from there over time. And the amount of comments that I get on video 6 months later saying, oh, look at that bad call, this, that. I see you. I appreciate you, Java, for the 5 gifted. But yeah, I'm not investing in those. I'm not really investing in anything particularly. I buy stuff at or below market, and I bring it to market in the most profitable way possible. If that's in plastic, then I go that way. If it's just flipping sealed from wholesale to retail, that's something that I do too. But yeah, I really don't get into speculating or investing long term. Do I have some cards that I'm intentionally selling slower because I think that at 500, at X amount of dollars, they are better holds than others? Like, yeah, there are some cards that I'm not as needing to sell so quickly, but they're still like for sale. They're still listed somewhere for the most part. I really don't. People tell me that I invest in Pokemon, but I really don't. I did have a video Monday that showed you what I'm holding, what I will have 5 years from now, 10 years from now, and that's really the limit of what I'll have 5-10 years from now. Will Pokemon ever just release all new sets at the same time to correct this Japanese first approach? I have no idea. I don't know that it's something that needs correcting. It would be cool, in my opinion, if we were able to just open a set for the first time and like see all the cards for the first time. I would kind of rather they all came out at once, but logistically, to do that would be a lot, I would imagine. Mason's got a great video about how they take the stuff from Japanese and they put it into English, and like logistically, there's just, they would have to almost be intentionally withholding stuff for a couple months on the Japanese side. So like, does that actually make sense to do? What are they gaining? I don't know enough about it, so no idea. What am I supposed to feel about wilderness boxes going up in price? I've heard about it. I don't know how much they actually have. I know a decent sales quantity went on. I did buy, I think I paid 30 a box through Card Shop Live on some wilderness and some Cryptid Nation 2nd edition. Oh yeah, I see right now market price is showing 55 and the lowest list is 62. So, I mean, if and when MetaZoo, like it's crazy. When Wilderness was 100 a box or 120 a box at release, more people wanted it. And this is one thing we have in MetaZoo that I love. We have known print runs. So 100,000 of every SKU. People wanted $100 Wilderness more than they wanted $30 Wilderness. That's what's wrong with people. Like, price goes up, so I want it more. Price goes down, so I don't want it. Like, as of right now, I guarantee you there are people buying $60 Wilderness booster boxes that didn't buy them at 30 or 40 because now they've doubled and they want to buy them before the next double. Like, what are you doing? And I'm not talking to Mason with this. I'm talking to the market. Same thing goes if it's a Scream promo, if it's a Mario promo, if it's whatever it is, if it just doubled and everything else is fundamentally the same, you shouldn't want it more, but people do. Like, Dan, what does the other half of the room you are in look like? You'll never find out because it's too much of a mess to ever show. Someday maybe I'll show it, but it's a big mess. I've talked about some of it before, but like most of my singles and stuff are over there on a shelf. There's like an incoming shelf there that's supposed to be just like, hey, set something there until I can get them in, open them, process them. This is gradable. This is not gradable. This goes on eBay. This goes here, there. That's a huge mess. That's actually where my heavy packs are. I see now. There's a TV there. In case the game's on, I can watch a TV. There's been a couple times where I'll have like Netflix there, YouTube here, AFK and something on RuneScape here, and then shipping stuff over here. I've got 2 screens, and then I got a TV back there. It becomes a lot. But yeah, it's mostly like inventory around me, and there's like too much. Too much. Yeah, the ring, supposedly some store in Spain, I believe, has a $2 million bounty. 2 million euro, maybe? 2 million euro, I think? I don't know. It's crazy. Nice to see you, J-Man Fu. Thanks for saying hi. I don't think anyone pulled the 1 of 1 ring, but I saw there was a 1 of 700. Literally, like, number 1. 1 out of 700. Soul ring that sold for like $13,000, apparently. I don't know. What's the Australian grading company that Americans would rather? I don't know any. I know there are some. I probably should know the acronyms, but they all blend together. Alphabet soup, so I don't remember what the acronym is. Was that Silver Tempest Build and Battle Stadium GameStop sale for 20-something you'd consider a once-in-a-lifetime deal? Once in a lifetime? I'm talking. No, because, like, I don't know whether they mispriced that or whatever it was, but I guess a once-in-a-lifetime deal is something that, because buying, I don't know how many you could buy of that. If you could buy one and turn 20 into 40, 20 into 50, I don't see that as once in a lifetime. I see that as like you can do that any minute of any day in Pokemon. You can turn a $20 bill into a $50 bill. Maybe not so directly, maybe not so easily, so quickly, but like grading is what does that. And yeah, once in a lifetime deal. I'm talking like a 5-figure deal that you can 2, 3, 4, 5 times your money on with grading and with selling things properly. Don't listen to this nonsense. Hoarding and careless spending is what made us money during the boom. Yeah, I mean, we could go years without the 1 of 1 ever being pulled, right? It could just be on a pallet somewhere. What did the Umu guy call you? Timmy Lemming, king of all Timmy Lemmings or something. There was Lemming and Timmy and king of all Timmy Lemmings or something in there somewhere. I forget. Appreciate you again, Java, for the gifted. Happy to catch a live while doing laundry. Happy to be a distraction while you're doing laundry. Hey, Dan, what are some of your favorite Aquapolis and Skyridge hollows? I've not looked at Aquapolis and Skyridge in so long, but like there are so many great ones. I do have them all, and I'm holding off. Like, I'm not intentionally holding off. I'm letting things slot in front of them. But I have a complete set, all 64 cards, that I'm going to be listing on eBay at some point. Some are going to go to the eBay vault to get the lower selling fees, but it just feels so bad. Like when I'm listing and selling, a CGC 10 Celebrations Charizard for like what most of the PSA 9 Aquapolis and Skyridge hollows are going for, I'll just make sure I list all of these before I list any of those. Do you think it's a good idea to invest in some of these waifu cards that were considered bulk 45 days ago, but now they're $50? So the card went from 5 cents to $50 is what you're saying. Maybe not, probably not even 5 cents, Japanese bulk. So 5 cents, 1,000x. So they 1,000x. I mean, maybe you should get in before the next 1,000x. Maybe 45 days from now, they'll be $50,000, or maybe they won't. So I would not want to say either way, but I would lean more towards that trend reversing before heading to like the next 1,000x personally. Careful DNA, you're on thin ice after the Quaxley comment. Yeah. People don't want something till everyone wants it. That's the thing with like the MetaZoo booster boxes. Like if and when MetaZoo's a thing in 5 years, there will be people that stonked it, that bought $1,000 Cryptid Nation first edition booster boxes, that bought $10,000 Kickstarter booster boxes, and then sold them after they lost 50% of their money. There'll be people buying back in at those same prices like 5 years from now, if and when MetaZoo is like still a thing, still succeeding. People just don't want things that have gone down. It's crazy. It's completely backwards. Ernesto coming in late. What's Dan on about today? What's the recap? A lot of individual questions. No like overall major theme, I don't think. People don't know about items till a lot of people are already chasing them. Then they want them. It's the collectors that aren't truly engaged that buy into the hype. Yeah, it's... Again, my name is Ketchum All Collectibles. The tagline, the phrase is gotta catch them all. You really don't have to, though. If I were a new collector entering today, like at some point it just becomes too much, right? Like I did. I entered in 2014 and I opened one of every booster box. If I entered today, 10 years later, even if the prices were the same, if the prices were reasonable like they were in 2014, I probably would have not set that goal. Instead of having 70 boxes to open, now you have like 100, almost 50% more. So at some point, if the prices were static, I wouldn't have entered with the same goal. The prices are not static though. So like obviously I wouldn't enter today with the goal of opening every booster box like I had in the past. At some point, if I were to enter today, I just like, wow, all that stuff happened in the past. That's kind of cool. Let me just buy what sets as they come out, and it's just so crazy. There's so much out there. It's nuts. And if you try to, I valued highly pulling cards for my collection myself. That's not like, that's very off the table these days, unless you just want to dump 30K into every product to lose a ton of money trying to open every card and then having tons of duplicates and having to sell it off. Like you have to be a mass box break channel volume wise just to open your own set. It's crazy. It's gotten easier to move away from a lot of my collection because it just got way too cumbersome. Like there's way too much out there, in my opinion, for one individual to own, especially one with not enough money like me. To get anywhere near having a master set of English or Japanese or both of them, or PSA 10 sets of everything, you just have to be like a many times multi-millionaire, at least for me, like for me to feel comfortable with any of that. Crazy. I'm all in on 151 and I pulled the 1 of 1 ring and doesn't want anyone to know. If I pull the 1 of 1 ring, it will be live on YouTube, so I will have the inability to like hide it and then stonk out on sealed to flip into the unbeknownst market. Disappears and waifus go on a bull run. Coincidence? I think not. Question for Dan. Let's see if this is a real one. If you go off to college and your mom sells your collection of Shining English WotC for 30 a hollow, should your mom be locked up? Yes. Ketchum All Collectibles, do you think that MetaZoo Topps Chrome cards will be worth something long-term? Something? Yes. How much? No idea. Wondering if you should invest. I don't know your situation. I don't know if you're doing it on credit. I don't know if you're maxing out your 401k and IRAs. I don't know if you have high interest credit card debt or anything like that. If I were investing, there's a lot of things that I would invest in before I would invest in those personally. There's a lot of things I would invest in before I would invest in any single Pokemon card too. So that's where I'm at, but that doesn't mean it's the right answer. That doesn't mean it's the optimal answer. That's just what I do. What do you mean 300 plus cards a set is so easy to collect? You could just swap it out like that dude on Whatnot. Easy, I did see that. Yeah, at the end of the day, it's got to be someone you trust, right? Like even if you're buying loose packs on eBay, even if you're buying from like Walmart or your game store, like there are some game stores that do shady things and you're getting semi-tampered or searched product buying from them. There are some Walmarts where people weigh and search and whatever the product on the shelf so that disproportionately what's left behind for you to go pick up and buy is already like had a lower hit rate because like people skimmed off some of the heavy stuff. It's unfortunate, but like some amount of trust has to be in whatever source you get. Like PokemonCenter.com is probably like the highest, most trusted thing. Yeah, especially given the nature of the way they sell the sealed product. There's really no way like an employee could skim anything out of or off of PokemonCenter.com product. But you're paying a high margin for that. You're paying full retail. You're paying $160 for a box when they sell for $105 on eBay. So at the end of the day, you've got to have some fundamental level of trust with whoever you're buying from. I have 20K liquid. Yeah, I mean, I would not put 20K into MetaZoo Topps Chrome personally. I would not put 20. There's no singular, like as far as just sitting on it as an investment, waiting for it to go up. I would not put that in cardboard anywhere personally. But I don't know your situation. Mason doesn't like. I'm not saying Mason. I'm not saying I trust and I would vouch for Cardinal Gaming. But there are absolutely like there are absolutely. You just need to be careful out there. You need to find people you can trust and do business with them. Shout out to Cardinal Gaming. He's one of the good ones. I'm fully caught up on chat. There's like 13 minutes left of my live stream. I am gonna switch. I guess I have some of my EVs to show. I can show. These things have been selling, like my non-gradable copies. Kind of annoying. Oh, I guess I've got that shown. But yeah, eBay Vault. I've had a lot of people ask me, what will an eBay Vault listing look like? This is what it looks like. So if you search my eBay right now, I will get the title fixed because the default titles are pretty bad. But like 1999 base set Pokemon TCG Ninetales Holo Rare, it doesn't even say first edition. It doesn't say anything. So if you use my eBay Vault Consignment, the title will be fixed. It will be my same normal format. This card specifically would be CGC 9 Mint. First edition, CGC 9 Mint, Ninetales, base set first edition, Shadowless Holo Rare Pokemon card. Like this doesn't even say Pokemon card in it. So the titles will be fixed. But I will, let me actually show sneak preview. Sneak preview, if you're in Discord with me, if you're in the Pokenomics Patreon and you're in that Discord with me, you've already seen it. But where the chat is, right below me, there's like a sneak peek preview at my new consignment rates. I thought about lowering my rate from below 20% for my normal eBay Buy It Now consignments that are done on my eBay that I physically fulfill myself. But for items above $250, I will be sending, it has to be above 250. It has to go through authenticity guarantee. I will be selling for 5% flat. So there is a $25 minimum. So if you sell a $250 card, it's functionally 10%. But if you sell a $500 card or higher, 5% flat. That is the entire fee. That includes everything. You ship it to me. I ship it into the vault. I handle all the shipping into the vault. I handle everything else. And it's a 5% selling fee total. So that's a new consignment service. That's what my video will be Monday. So if you want more information on that, I'm doing kind of like a special teaser promo thing for people who are watching now. This will hit Instagram next week. I will have my short next Friday will be about this. My video on Monday will be about it. My entire live stream next week, I intend to do a Q&A and kind of a demo of how it works. I will do like a full demo of what the listings look like. And I will answer any questions about how it works. Yeah, the title's horrible. That's the default. So, eBay Vault. I've actually sold a couple cards. Let me pop this off really quickly. I don't know what I'm even on. This one? Yeah, I guess look at my Nagaba Eevees for a second while I find the right window. Like, here's an example. And I am advertising this and I am intending for this to be a buy it now consignment service. But as a test, you can see on the top middle, it says eBay Vault. This is an item I sold of my own through the eBay Vault. 5% selling fees I would pass on to you. This was an auction as a test. So auctions can be done. I'm doing it as a buy it now consignment service primarily. If and when you're closing out your consignment, if and when you just need to have it moved, I can do auctions. There will be like disclosures, there will be disclaimers. eBay Vault is kind of like in a beta version. The international visibility is not amazing. There's issues with like, there's definitely some bugs and some minor issues. But anyways, at the end of the day, I auctioned a PSA 10 Celebrations Charizard and it sold for $206. I just thought of something I have to do. I'm just writing down a note for myself later. But yeah. So this is a revised title. The initial title when it went in was very, very bad, but this is my standard title format. PSA 10 Gem. I couldn't fit Mint here. Mint is the first thing I drop off if it's too long for the title. But PSA 10 Gem, Charizard Celebrations, Classic Collection Holo, Pokemon card 4 out of 102. Hits all the main points. That's just the way I format titles. So if and when you sell through me, I'm going to be doing a monthly send-off. So the first of every month will be the deadline. If you want to get in on the July batch, you have to have the cards to my P.O. box by July 1st, which is a Saturday. I will be physically sending the cards off probably July 5th, so that following Wednesday. So if the cards are to me by July 1st, I will input them into the vault, and I will then do, buy it now consignments for 5%. 5% all in, $25 minimum per card. Let me catch up on chat a little bit. Let's see. Dan, do you think people at Collecticons will want all the Japanese stuff that's rocketed in price, or is it just overseas interest? I don't know. I genuinely don't know. Are you buying Japanese 151 to do the race to the bottom? I don't know if you're talking about race to the bottom on like the ultra, like the newest graded singles. I don't auction really. I don't get too crazy into the whole race to the bottom. I'm buying 151 because like I really think it's going to be a good set long term. I'm probably going to grade some stuff early out of the gate. I'm probably going to try for like some black labels, maybe try for some CGC Perfect 10s or PSA 10s early. I guess that's the race to the bottom, hot potato play. But I'm not going to go like crazy with it. I might also buy some to like have for rips. If in the short to intermediate term, it pops up from what I paid, like $125 a box, I would probably just stream it for like barely over what I paid and then like keep the bulk, just do the hits only. But we'll see what happens. Am I ever going to do eBay Live? I don't know. You can do buy it nows on eBay Live, but it's mostly auctions, I think is the way they intend for it to be. I'm not crazy about that. But I guess I can go back full screen at this point. I have been in talks with them, and I might, I don't know. I'm not crazy. I do like streaming, obviously. I like having a couple lives a week or one live a week. But as far as I like listing things passively, like listing things, buy it now, and then every day, 20 to 30 items a day sell overnight, like passively, and then I just pack and ship them and go. I don't really want to stream for 3 hours and then have to ship 100 packages the next day. I'm not 100% dead set on either way, but like the longer I wait on eBay Live, probably the worse off it will be. Like if I want to get in, I should get in earlier, but I'm just leaning away from it. I'm leaning more towards like the eBay Vault. I'm leaning more towards like leaning into what I'm doing now. Buy it now consignments. Is eBay Vault shipping worldwide now or still just USA? Yeah, it's still USA. Obviously if someone has an eBay Vault or if they have a PWCC Vault, they can have it shipped to them wherever they live. I think they need to have a US generated. So say someone lives in China and they want to buy an item from my eBay Vault. I believe they need to use eBay US, not like the Chinese eBay site or not the Canadian eBay site. They need to create a new account on eBay US. then they need to register for the eBay vault and get an eBay vault address, and then they need to buy it. They can't buy it with like a Chinese eBay or a Canadian eBay. There are definitely some like caveats. There are definitely some things that need to be worked through with it being a like beta of the eBay vault. But that's why I stress buy it nows. Because if you send a card to an auction and international visibility is not great, and like you could get wrecked. I mean, auctions inherently you can just get wrecked anyways. You throw them up for 99 cents and say I'll literally take any amount of money, and then wherever it ends you sell it, or maybe you don't sell it because they don't actually pay. But with buy it nows, it's like if and when there's a bug with eBay Vault because it's in beta, because it's new, if they need to create a new account or change their account or enroll in, that doesn't lower your effective price. It might make the sale take longer to go through, but at the end of the day, like if someone wants that item and they just need to jump through a couple hoops to figure out how to buy it, and then they buy it via buy it now, you get netted 95% of the sale price. 5% fee, you get 95% net of the list price. So yeah, that's why I'm rolling it out. I mean, I do buy it now as a business. I believe in buy it now more. So I only intend to do like what I believe in for me. I intend to do for my customers. So I'm doing kind of like a soft launch of this whole eBay Vault thing. See how it goes. See how people like it. And I think eBay Vault, it's in a state now where it's functional. It works. I think it's only going to get better over time. So, and this current rate that I'm offering, I don't know like what it is today. That is a rate I can offer today as of now. I can't guarantee that I can offer this rate into the future forever. But if you get cards in through me, like if and when I change my rates for my consignment service, anyone who gets cards in will be like grandfathered in. So if and when the fees ever had to raise or change or whatever, I mean, if they went down, your fees would go down too. But if the prices were to ever go up or anything, they would be grandfathered in. The vault titles are done like automatically. So it's just pulling like that was not a person that made that. That was just done automatically, pulling in from a spreadsheet all the item specifics. But yeah, manually, I will have titles adjusted. When I make my video for Monday, the title I just showed you will be fixed and revised. Maybe I'll take a quick image of that and then I'll show Umbreon stack looking light. I opened 30 packs and I got 3 Umbreons. So the Umbreon stack was as expected. I mean, I guess a fractional light. But yeah, 30 packs and I got 3 Umbreons. So I think I had 3 of everything and then 4 of a couple. So it was like a perfect distribution. Rub in the Nagabas. I ordered 1,000 packs and all but 30 were canceled. So 900, I think it was 30. I think 970 packs were canceled. I've ordered 1,500 more since most of my first 1,000 were canceled. So yeah, I've had some pain there too. It's not come without some pain. Didn't Max Mofo show off the Nagaba promos like 3 months ago, or was it PokeRev? I don't know. I've watched some of their videos. I don't really watch regularly either of them though. I mean, I'll grade some early if I get some that are high grade potential, but yeah, we'll see. No base set Zard reprint in it. Yeah. All mine going CGC for whatever that new Sexy Perfect label going to be. Yeah, CGC announced that next Tuesday, I believe, they're going to have a big announcement. I'm assuming it's going to be the new Perfect 10 label. I have 12 of each Evolution out at CGC now. So I don't know if I'll catch the new label or if I'll miss it. I probably won't get any Perfect 10 ones anyways. Where did I get it for $125 a box? Instagram. Somebody on Instagram directly. What is something we have now that would be equivalent to 151 in terms of the value you speculate it might have long term? Nothing. I think a lot of times people try to find analogs to in the past, and it's something that it's good to try and do, but nothing will be a direct like. It's such a different atmosphere. There's so much stonking out of the gate. The print runs are likely way higher than things have been at any other time in history. 9.7 billion cards last year, 9.1 billion cards the year prior. I think the first year of Pokemon, like 96 through 99, the print runs were insane, but they were not 9.7 billion in a year insane. I don't believe. Biggest thing about like Base Unlimited, Jungle Unlimited, Fossil Unlimited, they printed those ones for like a long, long time. Many print runs. But anyways, I'm trying to remember exactly where I was. Sorry. But yeah, anyways, like, is this the next Scream promo? Is this the next Mario Pikachu promo? I don't think anything is going to be the next anything because we're just working in a fundamentally different time. Like, I was buying Scream promo EVs for $6 a pop. I'm buying these for 15 or 20 per sealed pack. So, like, out of the gate, the price is way higher. I'm assuming the print run is way higher. The pops of these cards are going to be way higher than Scream promos. And I know you asked about 151 specifically, but I think it's analogous to try to compare a new promo to an old promo versus a new box with an old box. Like, if people want to try to compare it to Boxy or CP6 or whatever, that is not a good comparison because the print runs were a lot lower then. I think in 2016 they printed 3 billion cards, 2 billion cards, not 10. And they weren't being, yeah, the old thing I can say a million times, but I think I covered it well enough. Then I'm a little behind, but how did you get the vault titles changed? eBay wouldn't let me change mine. I did buy mine off eBay, didn't send it in myself. So as far as the eBay consignment thing, I have a setup with eBay where I can facilitate the deposit of cards into the eBay vault. That is something that is not open to the public, clearly. I cannot really speak on to any specifics, unfortunately, of my arrangement. But yeah, sorry, that's not like a satisfactory answer, I'm sure. But the way that I'm currently doing things with the eBay vault is not something that can be done broadly, so not really applicable. Yeah, retro. Retro's so hung up. I said something about something not being my first rodeo, and it's like, I'm not surprised that a lot were canceled. And then Retro's really hung up on, like, I said it wasn't my first rodeo, and then I had 97% of my orders canceled. I don't know what you're looking for there. Like, okay. Retro gets really hung up on, like, certain things that are said. So watch what you say in front of him, because he's going to mention about 55 times. I do have, I think I have 30 uncanceled from my original buy orders, but I also have like some private Instagram, Facebook deals that I paid directly with PayPal. I have a couple hundred more on eBay that I bought. I had some that I bought on eBay at 10 a pack, shockingly shipped. I think I paid $2K for 200 packs, so $10 a pack. And those ones shipped. I think I've had 330 packs land so far of my like 1,500. And yeah, I've opened them all so far. Comparison is the downfall of society. It is also the thief of joy. 151 is a very pretty set. I could see a lot of people getting nostalgic and wanting a binder of these. In your opinion, Dan, is Evolving Skies or Crown Zenith the best Sword and Shield set? I like Crown Zenith a lot better than Evolving Skies personally. 151 equals Zoomers Evolutions. 151 blows Evo out of the water. Evolutions look like if Playskool and Pokemon did a collab. Retro sobbing. Anyways, I've sold 2 or 3 raw Umbreons for 50 a pop on eBay. These things, like my misses, my non-gradable ones. So I'm selling all of them for 18 to 20 eBay standard envelope, and I've sold 2 or 3 Umbreons for like 50 already. So they're plus EV, just buying, opening them, selling them raw. Not by a lot, but a little bit. But anyways, I did kind of tease the whole eBay Vault thing. The eBay Vault news all next week. Next week is eBay Vault week. I will be talking about eBay Vault a lot next week. It will be my video. It will be my short. It will be my sorry, I'm just trying to get it on screen here. So eBay Vault will be my live, my video, and my short next week. I'm gonna be pumping it. Going to be fully on the pump for eBay Vault consignments. There's the details if you want to see them. I will still be doing the traditional consignment service whereby it sells on my own eBay. If you're worried about the beta stance of the eBay Vault, if you're wanting to get it listed quicker, because the eBay Vault will be a once a month thing. It will be slower. It will be inherently slower. You send me buy now consignments. Once they hit my PO box, they're on eBay within a couple days. So appreciate you, Pokebarn. By the way, Pokebarn, I apologize for taking your comment on the what was it? The Pokeflips thing. For some reason, the way I read it, Text is a very bad a very bad way to get across like tone and all that. So I took your thing as if you were saying something negatively. I prefaced it in our premiere for tomorrow night that I may be taking it the wrong way. But yeah, I was a little bit coarse with my reply there. So apologies in advance for that. I'm not going to edit it. I'm not going to change it. Nick and I recorded the premiere last night. So appreciate the order, and I apologize for the coarse response. But yeah, I'm gonna end the stream there. I'm 5 minutes overtime already. So I appreciate everyone watching. Tune in tomorrow night, live on PokeFlips. We're gonna have Gem Mint Collectors. So two Nicks and Dan tomorrow night live.